Hi everybody, this is Mama Sue, and today I'm going to make this really cute, dainty little earring. And I'm putting pearls. Now these are kind of a reddish pink color, or almost purple in there too, you know. And then I've got this cute little twist I'm going to show you how to do right here to decorate your piece. Can you see that cute little thing right there? And then, but this makes a great earring. And it's not too large. A lot of people like smaller earrings. Well, shoot, this is my little finger. It only comes up to the knuckle on my little finger. So it's a small earring. But I really like it. It's elegant, and it doesn't take much to make it. So here's the things we need. I've got one piece of copper here. Oh, I'd go about 7 inches. This I probably cut bigger. It was just a spare piece I had. So I just pulled it out and didn't worry about measuring it. Then we need 6 of these small spacer beads with the flowery ones. And then we need 10 of these little tiny beads. Those are little metal ones. And then we've got 3 pearls here. One of them's a size 8 and one of them's 6. I mean, these 2 are 6s and this one's an 8. Then we've got these little spacer beads that are round and metal. I always like these because they're so fancy looking. They always look so fancy and pretty on any earring. And then I've got the ear wire right there. So that's all we need for this one here. So let's get started. Here's the earring. I'm going to put it in the middle so we can use it as our reference. Now I already measured for my wire. I used these flat nose. I always want to call them a duck nose because ducks, you know, you're quacky. But anyway, I put this right on the tip, and I make sure, see how that just pokes out there? I want to pull that in till it's not showing. And then I'm going to look down here, make sure I have that right where it needs to go. I don't want it going over the metal of this clamp. I mean this plier. And then I want to just push down. Now I've got a nice little L there. See? Now I've got a nice little L there, and that'll work well on keeping my sizing of the tips in line with this one, because I made this exactly the same on this one. See there? And now I'm going to take my round nose pliers, and I put a mark on my round nose pliers. See that mark there where it stops? The dark tips. I painted them red with a felt pen just to make sure I had this right on the nose. I'm putting my pliers right here, and I'm making sure it stays right on the line of where that mark is. Then I'm going to push it away from me like that, all the way down. But if you'll notice, it didn't go all the way around because my pliers were in the way. So that means I've got to move my pliers, and I want to make sure that it's still lined up with that line on my pliers. Then I'm just going to pull it the rest of the way. Now it's like this. See there? Now all I want to do is this big piece of wire, I want it to go straight down with this little piece of wire. So I'm going to put it in right here, and I'm grabbing hold of it real tight, and I'm just pulling it down. Now I've got this, and I have a stop point for my beads right there. That little piece that's hanging down is my stop point. Now, if I put these together, you'll see that I have, let me squish this down. Now, if you look at this, you'll see that I have the same size eyes on the earring, that little hole right there, and right there. It's the same size, and when I tarnish it, it'll look smaller. It looks bigger now, but when I tarnish it, it'll look the same size. Now I'm just going to take my my flat nose, put it on here. Just hold on tight and just push that up. Whoops. This way, and I just want to push it back a little bit just so I have a starting point to start putting my beads on. Just like that. So I have a nice starting point. With that little bend in there, it'll make it start real nice. So I'm going to start putting my beads on. Now, as you know, on here I've got 5 on each side. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm going to have to redo this one. I put one less bead on here. But that'll be all right. I'll fix that. Or I can even break one of these beads off and go with 4. But anyway, here we go. I'm going to put my 5 beads on here. I'll just repair that one later. 1. Come on. Oh, I better pick these up. 1, 2, 3, 4. Wait. 4, 5. Now I've got 5 beads on there that are going down just like that. Now if I close this, no beads will go down that, and it'll just stop right at that edge. Wait a second here. There it is. Now it's not going to go anywhere. And then the next one, I've got a fancy bead and a spacer bead. So here's the fancy. There's only 4 of these. Put that one on. Put a spacer bead. Then I'm going to go with, oops, the small pearl. Then a spacer bead. Then a large pearl. Here's my large. So you won't even see where you know how these glass beads start flaking? Well, you won't even see that because of the spacer bead. That's why they have bead caps too. It covers up all the mess. And then after that, oh, then I put on I forgot to put a pretty bead in between these 2. Boy, I'm confusing you, huh? Okay, now I need one of the pretty beads here. Pretty spacers. And then I need my one of these spacers. Then I need my big pearl. Now I'm back where I should be. See there? That's where I am. Wait, now normally this stops on me. I don't. Just one of these days. Okay, there we go. See, there it is so far. Now I'm going to put the rest of the beads on. Spacer. Pretty spacer. And then the last, then a spacer bead. And then this last pearl. And a spacer bead. And the last one of these pretty ones. Now, if you notice, we're just about done there. All I got to do is put 5 more beads on. Let's pick up some beads and go 1, 2, 3, 2 more, 4, and 5. There we go. Now that I've got that on there, I'm going to just kind of form my earring to come up to the top here. And I'm going to take this and just cross it over. See, I've got it crossed over. I want to make sure the beads are pushed down good. And then I'm going to start to wrap this. Wait, I don't have it pushed up high enough. I got to push it up high enough. It has to go right to the bottom of that cutoff piece of the little wire. That's where it has to be. And you got to hold it there sometimes. See how I've got some beads? I'll push this bead. Wait a minute, let me get those beads over there. And then I'm going to just, this wire is easy to work with. It's really, the copper is real soft. And see, I'm going to just bring that up there and just start wrapping it right around here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I went 5 times on that one. And then I'm going to bring this down like this. And I'm going to cut it down to about 1 inch. Okay, I'm going to count these again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You always want to make sure, because as you can see, I messed up because I didn't put enough. So that one I have to redo. But it'll give you a chance to see it again and make sure that you understand everything. See how cute that is? Now I'm going to measure this. I'm only going to measure like 1 inch, somewhere around 1 inch. See? 1 inch. And I'm going to cut that off right at the inch mark. See there? Now I'm going to curl that wire. I'm going to grab the little tip here. I'm going to start pulling it toward me a little bit. Then I'm going to kind of squash it down. Not all the way, just enough to get it started. Then I'm going to grab my needle nose pliers and I'm going to start twisting this little circle. If you notice, as I twist it, it turns into like a cinnamon bun or something. See how that just winds nicely? Now I got it down to there. I think I want this to twist the other way though and lay down here. Like that. You see how I did that? I just twisted it right around and laid it down right in place. Right like that. Now I'm going to go ahead and make the other one so that we'll be all good. Let me find the other one and then we'll color it. Let me pull this off first because I want to save this. See, I'm going to be using that. So I'm going to pull this up and I'm going to cut this off and start again. Where's my cutter? There it is. I'm just going to cut it right on one side. I don't need to cut it everywhere. Okay, here's my 5 beads. I wanted to, my 4 beads. I wanted to do it like this so I can just pull them off and put them back on my new wire. Then we don't have to deal with any anything major. Okay, is this the size wire I used? I believe so. Okay, I'm going to make sure I go around 6 or 7 inches. I don't remember how long it was. I think it was 7 because I made that little swirly and that was an inch. So I went ahead and cut this at 7. Now if you'll remember, I used the duck nose first, which this is not called a duck nose. It's just what I call it. And I'm just going to put my pliers right there on the tip so that nothing comes over the edge, but you can see it right there. It's right there at the edge. And just bend it over like that. See? A nice little L. Now I'm going to get my round nose pliers and I'll put it right at that mark, remember? Put it right at that mark and I'm going to push it away from me. But keep it on the line. Just like that. Now I didn't go all the way around, so I need to move my pliers so I can finish getting around, but I want to make sure that I end right on that line so that it'll be the exact same same place and it doesn't change the shape of my hole. Now I'm going to put it in here and just bring it straight down. Just like that. And then I'm going to flatten this a little bit. I want to see this one next to this one. It could be just a little bit smaller. Not a lot, just a little bit. So I'm just going to move it like that and then check it. And that's good enough. I'm going to bend it out sideways to start my beads going on. And here we go. These little round metal beads, which are about a size 3 millimeter. I'm going to put those on first, and there's 5 of them. And then, now, I'm leaving these mistakes in because I know that if I'm making these mistakes and you see it, maybe that'll prevent you from making the same mistake. Now, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I wanted to make sure the 5 were there. Now I'm just going to follow the rest of this, and I'll have it all done right. 1. Or I can just put these on. Oops. Nope, can't do it that way. So I thought I was going to show you something new. Yeah, I can grab a couple off at a time now. See there? It's going right on real nice. Got to finish putting the others on. This was an easy, this is a really easy video, isn't it? So I don't want to come off, so I'm going to cut it off. Okay, pull that off. Put those 2 beads on here. There it is. Boy, that's a tight bead. Ah, my bead broke in half. Well, I'll have to grab another bead. It's okay. I have lots of those still left. Okay, let's check. Is this a small one or a big one? No, this is a bigger one. Ooh, I may have used a smaller wire. I think I used a little smaller wire. Let me check. Okay, right here. Yep, that's the one. Make sure you grab the right size wire. This wire is about, let's say this is about a 21. Looks like a 21. A lot of my wires I don't have marked. I just know what I'm going to use. Okay, let's try this again. I'm going to lay these out just like that. We can't use this big, thick wire. Duck nose. Where's my duck nose? Okay, there's my flat nose pliers. I'm going to put it right on the tip there without it going over and push down so I get a nice flat place there. Then I'm going to take my marked round nose. I'm going to put it right here, but make sure it's right on the mark and push it to you. Then, and it's all the way down, and that's where it is right now. Then I'll put this back in, make sure it's right on the line, and pull it the rest of the way around, just like that. Then I'm going to put my needle right in here and go straight down, and there's my circle. There's nothing like a little refresher, right? Now I'm going to just squish this down a little bit and kind of pull it sideways. There. I can straighten that out more after I finish this earring. But let's see if we can get it finished. But you know how my videos are. A lot of times I have to do something 3 times. But I try. And I figure you're learning at the same time. So I'm not, I know I'm not perfect at this. Now I just put 5 of those on. Just to make sure, because remember I made a mistake there and put 4. Now I put 5. Now I'm putting on the rest of these beads that I lost. See there? Now I'm going to finish putting these beads on. Let me just put these down here. This seems to be pretty easy to do it right here. So I'll pull that up and you can see what I'm doing. Okay, I've got one of those. Oh, I need the big bead. Where is my big? Oh, it's over here. Oh, I need a spacer bead. Spacer bead, big bead. Boy, having that mess happen really messed me up. Okay, then I want another spacer. Then another pretty. Then a spacer. And another pearl. We're almost there. Like I said, these are simple and fast to make if you don't have to redo it. Well, even if you have to redo it, look, it hasn't taken us that long. Okay, now I gotta get 5 of these on, and then we'll have them right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now, it's already where it should be on this wire, so I'm going to start turning it into a teardrop. And because on the last earring I went this way, over the top, I'm going to go from the bottom this time because I want the wire coming in the opposite way so they're totally different, so that they have a mirror image of one another. Okay, let's roll this around a bit. And now this will be coming down this way. Now we want to take that down to 1 inch, remember? This wire here, we're going to take it down to about 1 inch. A little more, a little less is no big deal. But you need around 1 inch. Okay, I cut that off at 1 inch. See there? Now I'm going to start twisting it. Here it is. I'm going to grab it by that little tip. Just bend it a little bit. Then I'm going to come back in and I'm going to squash this down a little bit because I want my circle to be nicer. See there? I wonder if you could see that. It's like a little donut there. Then I'm going to turn it into a cinnamon roll. Okay, now I'm going to get a hold of that with my needle nose, and I'm just going to start twisting it and roundigating it, turning it into that little cinnamon roll. See how it's turning and turning into that pretty little cinnamon roll? All you need is some icing. And that's the stain. Okay, now that I've gotten all the way here, I'm going to pull this around and put it right in the front. Now if you'll notice, because I did over on this one and under on this one comes around this way and this wire comes around this way, making them mirror images of one another. Now we're going to stain them. See how cute those are? And they make perfect pairs as long as you mark your round nose and use something that's the same length exactly, so that you have an exact same length for wrapping around the bar. Now I already mixed my liver of sulfur. I'll show you what that is. And this is from yesterday because I made a video yesterday of a wire wrapped earring. And I save it sometimes. Save it like 2-3 days. Now this is what it looks like. See there? Now those big hunks, I'll never use a whole one at a time. I'll break them down. But what I do is I take a piece about that size and I'll put it in just plain water. It can be warm, it can be cold. Most of the time I make it warm, but it's cold right now and it's going to work just the same. But I've got that stuck in my head, warmer's better. I don't know why. Now all I'm going to do is I'm going to let me bring this up to you. All I'm going to do is stick this in here and just wave it around a little bit. And that one's done. That quick. And stick this in here, wave it around. Try not to be bothered by the odor, because this stuff does smell like a, what an outhouse. It smells like an outhouse. It's really nasty smelling, promise you. Okay, now I'm going to wipe this off. Not that it's all going to come off, but I'm just going to wipe it. Got a hair in there. Then I'm going to wipe this one. And there you go. See how cute those are? And those little places on there just look adorable on this earring. You know, when you do them in the small version, it just looks better having those little decorative places on your earring. And you don't waste the wire that overlays. You can even make a little swirl out of like 1/4 of an inch. I mean, just a little one, but I like them a little bit bigger. So now we're going to put these on. But I want you to notice something. This I always show people is when I wear an earring, I like my earring wire to go straight down, so my earring hangs straight down. But when you get earring wires, the ones you buy, they're always like this, and so when you have your earring hanging on your ear, this goes through to the back of your ear, And this part sticks out and your earring goes down. I like it like this because then my earrings go straight down. But to do that, I have to change it a little bit. Now this, I'm just going to bend a little bit like that so that I can get my wire to come up. See? And my ball to come up. Then I'm going to take, I'll just take these. I'll just take the duckies. I'm going to put it right over that bent wire there and just squash down. Now it's straight. That quick, it's straight. Now I want to put a little glue there because your balls will fall off if you don't get a little glue on there after you do this. So I'm going to put a little, boy, this is messy today. Let me put this on here. This bubble up and will die on you if you don't take care of it right away. Now I'm going to push this one down. Now I've got both those down like that. Now all I got to do is put them on my earrings and we are done. Okay, so get my pliers, pull up, never out, remember. You pull out, you take away the strength of this piece of wire, and it could break on you. And so I just want you to be safe. Now, to put these on, you want the front to go on the wire first, because then it'll be in the front of your earring. And then close it up. And give it a little squash. Well, there's your first one. See there? Nice, huh? And they're small, so they're not very heavy. Even though they're the glass pearls, they're still not very heavy because of having less beads on it. Now I'm going to put this last bead on and we will be all set. Here's the front. I want the front to go on the wire first. Just like that. Then I'm going to close my wire and squash it. Now I've got a beautiful set of earrings. Looky there. Aren't those adorable? They're not very big. They're so these are just like, you know, anytime earrings, but they're quite cute. And I really liked how that little circle, the cinnamon roll, came out on these. I call it cinnamon roll. You can call it whatever it's supposed to be called, but I call it a cinnamon roll. Now, if you want to make this look a little bit more antique, you grab a nail file and just to give it a little bit of. Now I'm going to show you this next to the other one. And that's just a little bit. Now look at the difference. Wait a minute, let me turn this around. Now look at the difference in those two earrings. You can kind of, well, can you see it? Okay. You can kind of, well, if you could see it well, you would know that one of them looks a little more antique-y than the other. Ah, there. Now you can see that one. That one there is all black. That one there's got little pieces of, like, the copper color coming through. Okay, let's get this one done, and we are done, girlfriend. And see, it's not a lot of labor doing the sanding. And this was a really quick, pretty earring to make. Ha-ha! Oop, wrong way. Now they're the right way. See those? Very pretty. And those were just with pearls. Okay, so we're done for today. And I just want to let you know that I want you to be safe and happy and healthy, especially with this COVID going on. And God bless and keep you safe.